Okay, welcome to episode 3 of our language construction. One day we will have a name for this language. It'll be great. I'll be able to call it something. For now it's, I guess, name TBD. We left off last video. I was going to do a little bit of research in the Index Diachronica just to see where do retroflexes usually come from, and then just to look at all the options for our post-alveolar fricatives. And what I found is velars absolutely never become retroflex stops. I was a little upset because the only things that become retroflex stops are the alveolars, or at least the coronals. So that's something I get to think through right now. One of the reasons that's a bummer is because our post-alveolars tend to come from alveolars, but so do retroflexes. And so if they're both coming from the same place, it would be very interesting to try and set up a way for that to happen. But something that's doable. So if in general my retroflexes are coming from my coronals, the three main ways that this happens, apparently, according to my quick perusal of the index, is either they get dragged back with a vowel, like if a front vowel like E gets dragged back to become something more like E, then the T in front of it, you can go from T to T. That's a possibility. Another one is R coloring. Tra can become ta. Or palatalization. Tia can become ta. I think I'm leaning towards not this. So either R coloring or palatalization. I like the idea of doing the R coloring because I don't actually want this sound to be in the final language or in the modern language. I just want it to be in the proto-language for coloring reasons. And I think part of the R coloring could be if I have my coronals get R colored to retroflexes. I think that would be a possibility. Or palatalized. Although if I palatalize, it would be more likely to develop at least some sort of palatal series as well. So I think I might go with the R coloring. Highlight that just for now. Wow, that is jarring. I don't normally highlight all these things. I'm doing it for the visual so that you can see it better. But I'm just realizing, oh boy. This, interestingly, like anything, can become sh. It just turns out. Especially if it's got an S in it. I'm thinking that the nice part is this little bit here. G, I think we're all, well, maybe we're not all familiar. This is what happened in Latin. Your G and G sounds got palatalized to J and J, and then eventually Ch and J. Well, Ch and J can soften to Sh and J very easily. And so, but what that means is I can have my velars and uvulars move forward. I can get rid of these still, but I can have them go to sh and j, whereas I can have my coronals become sh and j, and I can still get both, but they almost like cross paths. So I think that'll be interesting. So I'm actually going to hardline that. And I think I'm going to go with the R coloring, but I'm going to get rid of that highlight. So, notes. I'm going to keep a little notes bit down here, but I'm going to stop it from being read. Notes. Okay, retroflexes will come from R coloring of coronals. And post-alveolar fricatives will come from palatalization of velars. And bilabial fricative will begin to waddle. I guess I can probably just put H. That's fair. And I think that ends up being stuff. Make a note that R will disappear. It will cause all kinds of nastiness, along with most of the uvular geo. Oh, if I can only spell geo stuff. Vowel coloring. This is how I'm going to get some some non-concatenative morphology, and some stem change vowel changey stuff. It'll be I love vowel changes in morphology. I think they're just wonderful, and I've always wanted to try to evolve it a really expansive one. Although I haven't talked about vowels at all yet. Are there any other notes I need to make so that I don't forget what I'm doing up here? Okay, I know where my retroflexes are coming from. I'm a little excited to try them out. I know where my sh and j are coming from. I should make a note that, of course, k and g will become, let's see, they will become ch and j. And then I think I'm just going to have those weaken to sh and j. Now, do I want I think what I want to have happen also is for k and l to also come forward and just become sh and j. Yes. That way when I have the same sound, the reason I'm doing that is that the same sound change that's going to give me s and z is going to give me a f, v, and a h. Although I guess I don't really need to have that sound change, because I can just have an S and a Z in the proto-language. Although it would explain what's going on here. In any case, it explains why I don't have f and v, and why I don't have h, although that could just be bringing it in with h. Maybe. Yeah, I'll just do that. Also, velar fricatives merged with uvulars. That's easy enough. That happens all the time. Bilabial fricatives will weaken to H. I know that that happens. I can't think of a good example of that happening right now in a language, but I know that it happens. I've got one. Spanish. Literally Spanish did that. Words like facio became, well, originally then they became like facio, and then hacio, and then, facere became facere, which became hacer, became modern hacer in Spanish. So that happens all the time. And R coloring. I'll deal with more R coloring in another video, I think. I think that's where I'm going to end this one. It's been 10 minutes. That's a whole lot. We've accomplished Well, I guess we've ironed out all of our sounds, so that's not bad. I can, as a final act, I'll put yellow on these, and then starting in the next video I'll probably iron out vowels. Get all the vowels of the proto-language ironed out, and then we'll start working on some sound changes. We'll get this stuff codified, and we'll see what madness of vowel changes I can enact. I'm so excited for that. And, question. I have one last question. Whence come these sounds? Oh, now I see. Now I don't know how to. There it is. I'm getting used to this IPA keyboard. I figure out how to get that sound. Alright, that's it for episode 3. If you like this content and want to keep watching, subscribe. I know it's a YouTube-y thing to just like ask for subscribers all the time, but it's a thing. If you like what I'm doing, I'm going to keep doing it. So, we'll see you around. Icarus out.